all corners. Where in the heck was the question? I know they can't be that hard.
Oh, we've got Davy Crockett. We're doing that one again, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is take 2, or take 4, or 26, whatever. We lost our audio on the last one, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So we're refilming in a quieter environment. Check out our new shirt, son.
We need to move the camera up more.
Get a little Possum tail action right there.
Much more better.
Much more better. It is good to be back in civilization now.
Been in the piney woods all week.
Been up in the thicket all week. Great hospitality up there. Took really good care of me, but man.
Was it one of the dry counties?
It felt like a dry county. So damn far to a store. Yeah.
Are we cooking again?
I like stuff. There we go. I like that.
I do like it.
Alright.
Possum Tales!
Welcome to another great episode of Possum Tales.
Woohoo!
I'm Bill.
I'm Red.
And here we are again. So what are we going to discuss today?
We are going to talk about uncanny history or weird history through history.
Awesome. Hit me with some,
Hit you with some history?
history. Hit me with some history. I want to learn today.
You want to learn?
I want.
I thought we were learning from you today.
Oh.
If not, we're in trouble.
No, we're not in trouble. I tell you one thing, though, it is very nice. This cool weather that came in, it's kind of killing off the mosquitoes, so we won't have another video where it looks like I'm having Tourette's out in the middle of the woods.
That was funny. If you haven't caught that one, it is The Hunt for Bailey's Ghost, and I will leave a link in the description.
Yeah, that was a rough video. That was probably my roughest video to film. Plus, then I looked like I was either on some kind of narcotic or had Tourette's out there trying to tell the tale. You couldn't tell in our video, but the mosquitoes were. Whoa.
They were horrendous.
Yeah, our legs were covered.
It was one take and get the hell out.
Pretty much. I think we didn't even get all our film on that video, but
right.
That was a rough one. All right, let's get started.
All right.
Thank you all for joining us again, Possum Tales.
Woohoo!
And we're going to go on with this.
So, uncanny history. And the first, what would it be called? The first, what are you looking for?
I just writing down the time.
It's
okay.
So
You
so
keep
we
going.
can only we're only within an hour. But you see the time on the
Aha.
Uh-huh.
See, I'm an idiot.
So
Sorry.
we're already been talking for 4 minutes.
All right, let's go. Let's
Okay.
see what we got here.
So the first one is about Davy Crockett,
Oh, okay.
and it's specifically Davy Crockett's hat. Did he wear a Did he wear a coonskin hat?
So-
Coonskin hat.
I'm actually reading a book about Davy Crockett right now, so I'm gonna have a little more information on that. No, and yes. That is a double question there. So, no, he did not originally start wearing the coonskin cap. When Davy Crockett was in Congress, they had already started a live theatrical play on the dime novels of Davy Crockett's life. And so the actor that was portraying him in the play decided that to add to the theatrics and stuff, that he would wear a coonskin cap. So Davy Crockett, being the man he is, and all the free publicity that he was getting from the dime store novels and the play that was traveling the world, he decided that he'd go out and get himself a coonskin cap, and he ended up wearing it when he would go to like show himself off or to portray Davy Crockett, not just that old Congressman Davy.
So it was more of a theatrics that he was bringing to life. Is basically what you're saying.
Right. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, people still do it today. You know, you want to look like a bull rider, you put a bull rider glove in your back pocket. You've probably never seen a bull in your life, kind of thing. It was the same aspect, same kind of thing to portray the character. Because more people knew the dime store novels and they knew the play of him. And so if he was just to show up like Davy Crockett, then people would be like, well, you're not Davy Crockett. I seen Davy Crockett. I seen Davy Crockett up there at the theater 6 weeks ago. And that Davy Crockett, he had a coonskin cap on.
He looks more like Davy Crockett than you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
It kind of leads me into something else. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin once took 3rd place in a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest. How about that one?
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's funny.
He couldn't even look like Charlie Chaplin. So
Davy Crockett, we've talked about him before in the Alamo. You want to express a little bit more about how he picked up his persona in the Alamo?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Crockett and the rest of the volunteers from Tennessee, they came down here not looking for a fight. They didn't think there was going to be a fight. Actually, they believed that it was over and that it was just some little diplomats chatting it out at this point. And so when in late February, when they were surrounded by the whole Mexican army inside the mission there in San Antonio, he, just like he did before with the coonskin cap, he had to live up to that legend. There's no boy that wrestled a bear at the age of 3 is going to walk away from a fight. And
well, that's true.
He had to live it up. And him, Bowie, and Bowie mostly in that situation, they had to live up to their persona, or they were never going to live it down. So, and they didn't. They lived up to it. They died right there, and the rest is history.
And it was all Travis's fault because he was a...
We'll get into that when we do our story on the Alamo. Let's not give too many spoilers out. All right?
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll find out what happens in the Alamo here soon.
Okay. Well, let's move on to our next subject. And we're going to move out of Texas history and even out of U.S. history. And what about Napoleon's height? You know, it's always portrayed that Napoleon is really short.
So, once again, it's going to be propaganda. That is a straight propaganda campaign. Started by the British to demoralize and to make Napoleon seem less of a man. Napoleon was actually 5'9", which was kind of above average height in the 1700s, late 1700s,
late 1700s,
late 1700s, early 1800s. He was a pretty large man for his time, but in order to portray him as a lesser man, they poked on his height. You know, it's kind of like we do it to this day. That's what we do. Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Get the people on your side, make the other guy look bad. You got a better chance of winning.
That's true, and then just keep plugging at it. Keep singing that same old song and dance, and eventually
people believe it, and that's the history that you're taught.
If you repeat the false long enough, loud enough and long enough, then people will start believing it.
I mean, here we are 200 years later, or a little more, 2 years later, and we still refer to guys that have our short stature of having Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Yep. All a bunch of lies. Propaganda.
Oh man.
Yep.
Our people are lying to us.
They've been doing it for thousands of years.
That's
It's nothing new. You gotta read through it. So.
All right. Well, let's go on to maybe World War II. You know, just spreading throughout the history.
Oh, World War II, World War I. I got that. What you got on me?
Okay. U-boats. There is references that there were U-boats here on the Texas coast, but is that really true? You know, U-boats are German. Could they swim that far across the ocean all the way to the Texas Gulf Coast?
Yes, they did.
Really?
And more than one account. So before I get into that, what's U-boat mean?
I don't know, but I know it's like underwater. It's a submarine.
Underwater boat.
Underwater boat. I know that. It's underwater boat.
Anyways, so yes, U-boats did make it into the Gulf of Mexico. There are plenty of tales of the Gulf of Mexico of U-boats. Matter of fact, we have one that is sunk. We didn't sink it. It's sunk because of faulty equipment, stuff like that. Right off of the coast here in Texas. There are legends or rumors that U-boats would anchor off the shore here, and the sailors would come in, kind of rafted in, and go visit and hang out in the taverns here in the Texas coastline. And I know it sounds kind of far-fetched, but the majority of the people that lived on the Texas coast at that time still spoke German, and German was a common language because most of the people that were coming here, the immigrants that were coming here at that time in history, they were German immigrants. And so either there were first generation German immigrants or second generation German immigrants. So a young man my age or younger showing up to a tavern speaking broken English or even German for that matter would not have been uncommon. So they could have gotten away with it very easily.
That gets into a fun fact of we were one vote away from having German as a common language being used here in the U.S.
As our national language, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually were trying to push it to be dual language, sort of like Canada, where it's French and English is their national languages, but didn't go through.
We've heard of the concentration camps of Europe where they confined the Jews and all of that during the war, but was that the only place that there was concentration camps?
Well,
and we're still referring to World War II.
Well, we didn't call them concentration camps here in the United States. We called them internment camps.
Internment camps.
And yes,
that sounds a little less harsh.
Yeah, it's all in the wording.
Yeah.
It means the same damn thing. You're going to still use people, put them over here, out of sight, out of mind.
Put them in prison.
Put them in prison. You're imprisoning U.S. citizens at that point. But yes, we did have internment camps here in the United States. The most well-known are the ones on the West Coast that are for our Japanese, nationalized Japanese citizens, and you could have been 4th, 5th, 6th generation U.S. citizen. You look Japanese, but was going over there. So, but what is not talked about is the German internment camps here in the United States. As a matter of fact, we have one right here where we grew up, and anybody that is familiar with our fairgrounds, that's exactly what that was. That was built by the U.S. Army of Engineers to house German citizens.
Really?
It was a German internment camp. So if you walk up to the front gate of the Brazoria County Fairgrounds, those big buildings, those were dorms. You had your galley over on the other side of it there.
Okay.
And so it's just basically those like 8 or 9, like we used to have
the domed building.
Yeah, the dome buildings, the little brick buildings on the back side. Those were probably officer quarters or something for the internment camp, but that's exactly what that land was used for.
Yeah, I remember hearing stories from my grandmother of on the bus heading to school when she was a teen, and she would wave to the people in the concentration camp, and they would wave back.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's no historical marker or anything. It's kind of one of those things like, oh, we don't want to talk about that. Mm-hmm.
Shove it under the rug.
No.
And that would probably be the same for most of the fairgrounds around here, because they're all built about the same time and the same construction.
Fort Bend County Fairgrounds,
yeah.
the same thing. Yeah, so good luck with that, guys. Try to hide that one from everybody.
We're bringing it out. Sorry. That's history.
History.
And history is relative.
It's relative to everything.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the next one is we're going to go to something really interesting. Where does the bird come from?
There are plenty of stories. Hold on.
I like that bird better.
So, all right. So there are plenty of stories all the way going back to Athens, Greece, on where the symbolization or the gesture, the bird, comes from. My favorite. Well, let me tell you about Athens first, since that's probably the furthest back that we can go and actually give it. It was a sign of, and it looks more like the American version of the bird too. So it was a sign of fertility that a man, would give to a lady that, hey, I'm your dude, all right? I got it. This is Evian flowing through this, not some pond scum, all right? So they would give the bird as a sign of fertility because it is a phallic symbol, if you can see. If you don't know what phallic symbol is, please look it up. I'm trying not to cuss really bad. It's bad enough I just flipped the camera off 3 times, and this is supposed to be for children. My favorite version.
I need to know this history.
My favorite version of it doesn't happen until around the 14th century, somewhere around there. The French and the English were at it again. I don't know why these two can't get along, but they're at it again. The archers was
like jealous siblings.
Yeah, no, it's exactly, and you got to remember that all royalty in Europe is all related. Like they're all cousins or nephews or nieces. I mean, when we get into World War I, you're talking about a poop show. So, anyways, back to what I was saying.
Our show isn't poop.
No, our show is possum tails.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of many of them. So, anyways, 14th century, British and the French are fighting it out, doing their thing. Well, archers were the artillery, and well, not the artillery, because that would have been like your trebuchets and your stuff. So archers were like your infantrymen. Infantry?
Yeah.
I guess you'd call them your infantrymen.
Even though you had infantrymen as well,
right.
Because you had the swordmen, the spikemen,
your gunners, I guess. Yeah. Your gunnies. But your archers, they'd pull back these 2 fingers, right here. They pull back, all right? The fletching is called throwing the bird when you released it. So when the archers would be captured, it's a lot of waste of human life just to murder people at that point. So what they do is they would take and they would cut off those 2 fingers. So then you end up like that. Well, you ain't pulling no bow back, but you can still work the fields and you can still be productive for society. So in a sign of defiance, the British started giving them the bird. And that's the whole reason that the British still use the 2-finger bird, and they probably don't even know that. Is that a good enough answer for you?
Well,
Or do I need to go in more detail? Do I need to tell some other?
That kind of makes sense. We call it the bird, so I can see where it would come out of.
It's like a mixture between the two.
Yeah, come out of that history, but
and then the phallic symbol.
We flip them off to say "fu."
Okay, so then what's FU? I mean, think about it. So that would go back to the Athens.
It's kind of merging both of them. It's kind of interesting how that history has melded together.
Right. Two different things.
Yep. And come into
one, and we use it in the proper tense. Well, not actually in the proper tense. We use it more in the 14th century tense.
Right.
Than in the prehistory, I guess you would say. Tense
the previous one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I didn't spell it right. I'm not going to spell it right either. You know why? Because I'm not Webster. Anyways.
Are you drinking possum pee?
I'm drinking possum juice. Possum juice.
It's probably healthier than soda.
Probably, yeah. Kind of tangy.
It's got that tang to it. Alright, let's see if we can move on.
We're going to move on from chicken skinning to chicken fighting, I guess, here.
Alright, moving into more of legends and folklore. The lucky number 13, or the unlucky number 13, where did that come from? Can I stump you with that?
Well, so we can go back to, let's go back to the beginning of Christianity. Because both of them have to do with Christianity.
Okay.
So, if it wasn't for Christianity, we would not have the unlucky 13. Okay, so any of y'all that paid attention during Sunday school or, hell, have just watched a movie in the last, 100 years. Jesus, he had 13 disciples.
Okay.
Alright, and then Judas. Yeah, he was number 13 there. And Judas decided to sell Jesus.
But was Judas 13 or was he 7 and we just pushed him to the back of the bus?
Well, you end up with 12 disciples when he's getting crucified because the 13th one, he hung himself. So anyways, 13, they say that's where it became unlucky. But in, October 13th, which happened to be on a Friday, in 13 something or other.
1320-ish, I think
Yeah,
it was?
1320. I don't have no notes. I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants here. So
where did that come from?
Dude, stop! Let me finish the thought here, alright? So, King Louis and the Pope at the time, they had a little problem with money. And they had not only borrowed money from the Knights Templar, who were protecting the pilgrims that were going to the Holy Land and back. It was kind of like if you take your family on a road trip to Disneyland nowadays.
Road trip!
There's people along the side of the road to protect you from getting mugged.
So they're like DPS.
They're like Department of Public Safety, yes. So,
they're the bears.
They're the bears. But they also had started the largest banking system. So you didn't actually have to take your money with you on the trail. So the possibility of you getting mugged for your money was slim. So you could drop your money off in, say, Paris or London, and they'd give you a scrip. Then when you got to the Holy Land, you could turn that scrip in. They would give you that money, short of their little tax or their fee.
The little fee, yeah.
And that helped your travels be better. So on Friday the 13th, on October of 13, hell, I don't remember the last part of the number. Please forgive me.
We'll put it in somewhere.
Yeah, she'll put it probably the actual date, somewhere
here, yeah.
There. Okay, so anyways.
Somewhere in between here.
Louis, he owes the Knights Templar a bunch of money. The Pope is afraid that the Knights Templar have too much power. So they have them all rounded up on Friday the 13th and executed. And that's where it comes to be unlucky 13. Friday the 13th is the most unluckiest of all days because you're just sleeping in your little aboo, and next thing you know, you're getting your head whacked off. Oh, no. And, it makes a bad day. Oh, we are the Finns. We are better than you. Ooh. All right. It's going to be a good day.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a great day.
Let's move on to mirrors.
We got some mule skinners up in here, huh? Mule skinners.
Mule skinners.
Mule skinners.
Well, explain.
Anyways, let's where we at? Mirrors?
We're going to move to mirrors again?
We're going to mirrors.
We're going to mirrors. Why is it 7 years bad luck to break a mirror?
Oh, well, that goes back to when you... So mirrors are very expensive. Not now. I mean, you can go get a mirror at Walmart if you wanted to for $10, $20. Don't quote me. I'm not selling anything for Walmart, so... But,
you can go to the dollar store and get a mirror for $1.
Right. So mirrors are very expensive because they had they were hand-blown glass with silver on the back side of them so that you could look at you and gaze at yourself. Excuse me. So if you think about it, you just spent half your month's salary or 2 bushels of corn or something for a mirror for your wife because dudes don't need no mirrors. But they're expensive. So if you broke it, it was bad. I mean, like it would be like buying a new truck and driving it off a cliff or something along those lines. It's not good. So that's where that comes from. Is that's a lot of money to. And
I would differ with men don't need mirrors.
They needed mirrors back then.
Yeah.
They
look
were
at the
kind
fops or the dandies, the macaroons. Yeah. Now that is an interesting story of the macaroons and the song Yankee Doodle and all of that, where we're insulting ourselves.
Yeah. We're a bunch of weirdos back then, guys.
That'll be for another day.
Like shaving our heads or cutting our hair short so that we could put on a wig because we were afraid of lice. That we put on a wig and then we powder the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Ugh.
Why didn't you just clean your hair? Why didn't you just, I don't know, brush it? Start with something simple. Wash your hands. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the herbalist, not me. I'm the historian. She's the herbalist.
Well, speaking of hands.
Okay. What about hands?
What about the handshake?
Handshakes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the handshakes? The handshake. Oh, well, it was so the handshake. I'm not even gonna ask her what about the handshake. So the handshake came about because it was a sign to show that you're not being aggressive. You're not hiding a weapon or something like that. You're not stabbing them in the belly. If your predominant hand is reaching out to shake, you're not a threat. You're trying not to be a threat. You're showing camaraderie or peace between the two of you.
But we shook with the right hand, and that's the common usage. Why not? I'm left-handed. Why not do the left hand?
Because that's your dirty hand.
Ew, can I just touch my face?
Yeah, don't do that. That's how you spread the Rona.
Oh, really?
No, so excuse me. I got a little bit of a cough.
Ebola or
Ebola and stuff like that. So what she's getting at is we use our right hand, and the reason our silver is on the right side of the plate are all the same reasons. Your right hand was your clean hand, your left hand is your dirty hand. So before Charmin and those bears were selling us toilet paper like pushers, why do you have advertisement for toilet paper anyways? Everybody needs it.
Why do you have bears with big asses?
I don't know.
Why do you have bears with big butts?
Yep, see? Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so your left hand was used to clean yourself and do the unmentionable things, making sure your hoo-ha and your beans and franks and your butthole were, nice and clean. It's your left hand. So, it was your left hand. And you kept your right hand clean. That's why you see a lot of times people have their left hand like buried, and the right hand will either have like a glove on it if they were aristocrats or higher up. Common folk, though, they, you know, right hand. That's the reason. Right hand's clean.
Okay.
Left hand's dirty.
Okay.
Use your little stick.
Oh yeah, and that kind of brings to the bless you. Well, you know what? Cough.
Me?
Yeah, just cough.
I've been coughing.
Cough again.
I keep cough on. Okay.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
You know where that comes from?
No.
Well, whenever you cough or you sneeze, that is your body trying to reject DEVAL.
Derval?
Yeah.
Like the Jersey Derval?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So the people around you would say, bless you, to help you reject the bad spirits that are trying to get into your body.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You know how close we were so many times to figuring out medical mysteries? That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example that we were like, yeah, that close. And then we're like, oh no, it's a witch. It's a witch. Burn her.
Throw her in the
Throw her in the...
Throw her in the pot and see if she floats.
If she floats, she's not a witch. No, she is a witch. If she drowns, she was a witch. So, it's a win-win. We're getting rid of her. It's the one person you probably should have kept.
Exactly.
Unless you ignorant buttheads, you should have paid a little more attention to her.
And, you know, to go on with the bless you.
It's a witch!
Yeah. To give a little bit of secret ammo, the Southerners, Southern women, if we say, have a blessed day.
Oh, bless your heart.
Or bless your heart, that could be an insult.
I don't know about you, but I guess so. You're right. It is. I mean, it's not meant to be an insult. I don't think it was started off to be an insult, like, oh, bless his heart. No, I don't believe that was started off to be an insult. I think it was actually like a condolence or something along those lines, but it has gotten to the point where you hear one of them Southern belles tell, oh, bless his little heart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she just told you were stupid.
Yep.
Sorry. I hate to admit it, but yeah. She just politely told you with no offense taken. Which means that they're about to tell you some shit you don't want to fucking hear.
Yeah.
Just did it
again.
I'm working hard, guys. Working hard, and I just hit 2 of them right out the gate. Stared at myself while I did it. That's crazy. Sorry. You're gonna have to change my title to PG-18 or something over there.
PG-18?
Yeah, I've been talking about birds and flipping people off and phallic symbols. And
yeah.
Good Lord.
This is definitely not rated G today.
Come on, little kids. Come in. Daddy's got a perfect little story to tell you. This is called The Birds and the Bees.
Oh! The bees.
What about bees?
Did you know that you go and talk to your bees?
Well, yeah, I talk to everything. My plants, my bees.
Yeah, but you like
furniture.
whenever you're going to go on a vacation or something, you tell your bees that you are going to be gone and when you're going to come, what your trip is going to be and when you come back or when you're going to come back. That way your bees don't go buzzing away. And when somebody dies, you tell them, oh, little Johnny died today. That way they know to stay put, that they are part of the family.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's a Scottish tradition.
No, it actually makes sense. I mean, yeah, makes perfect sense. I mean, I talk to the cat when I leave the house.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a little bit.
The cat's the only one that listens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dogs, the kids, the wife, none of them listen.
Yeah.
The possum listens and the cat listens. So I'm like, all right, dudes, listen, don't pee on my floor. You just stay being a cat. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, I talk to my dogs all the time.
Yeah, can't help but talk to them.
Yeah.
I use 4-letter words
Stop
when I
it!
talk to her dogs.
Get off me! Get away!
All right.
Shut up!
Yeah.
There he is!
He heard me talking about him. Great. We're gonna get that in the feedback now.
Cujo.
We're gonna have to put him in the credits. Cujo, Yoda. She'll probably put some sweet little picture of him being a little lap dog. In fact, he's a ravenous beast from Hades.
Okay, moving on. Instead of talking about dogs, let's talk about black cats. The story or the folklore of black cats being evil, or you don't cross a black cat's path. They're unlucky. Where did that come from?
So during the Dark Ages, maybe I'll do a video one day on the Dark Ages, because the Dark Ages were not dark at all, and it's not one of these things that people
Wonder if is it propaganda or just naivety?
It's because it was kind of like a dead time in history, like
of written history.
Of written history, right? And so it's. Yeah, so the legend of the black cats, let's get off topic here. So the legend of the black cats comes from that time in history where, you didn't have oil lamps all over town. It was kind of dark. I mean, you're inside, say, London in that time period, and the buildings are up and closing in. You ain't getting a lot of light. It's smoky, it's foggy, it's nasty. There's filth in the streets. Bubonic plague is just rampant, running crazy and everything.
It's because the Knight Templars weren't there to protect us.
Yeah, because they were killed.
They were just killed.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, it goes back to the saying, all cats are black at night, because it's dark. You just see the shadow of a cat cross your path. People are dying of an actual pandemic. Not an upper respiratory infection. So anyways, get me on. But anyways, so...
What's that?
That was me throwing a temper tantrum.
Oh.
For all y'all that are listening on the podcast, I just threw a temper tantrum. Yeah. That's all the more reason
that
to
you need
watch
to
the
watch us.
video and not just listen to us. So,
and you can catch us on YouTube.
YouTube, we got a few different channels on YouTube, but I don't care.
For those podcasters.
Yeah. Well, the podcasters, this is our podcast.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to the black cat. All cats are black at night. It was thought to believe that the cat at night carried the bubonic plague, when in fact the cat was eating the critters that were carrying the bubonic plague. So it was actually luckier to have the cat there and cleaner.
Yeah.
But once again, we were this close in medical history.
But missed it by a mile.
But we missed it by a mile because we were like, oh, it can't be that. It's going to be the black cat. The black cat's evil. Where's that witch at? Let's throw her in a creek.
See if she floats.
Why? You got to go after the herbalist every time. Oh, yeah, she lives alone. She's got jars and stuff.
Yeah.
Bunch of cats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's see how good she burns. Yeah, being afraid of cats is not, I'd be afraid of like a cougar. Wow, I ain't afraid of cougars. But mountain lions, yes, I'd be afraid of mountain lions and panthers.
Yeah, don't you have a cougar?
Don't I have a cougar? Yeah, she's at home.
Yeah.
Anyways. I'm just a little
We're
cub.
talking about the... Yeah. He's got a cougar.
I'm just a little cub. So anyways, let's move on. These people don't want to hear me ramble. They don't want to... They're probably thinking that... They're probably driving down I-45 right now, stuck in traffic, going, this guy can ramble a lot.
Yammer, 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 yammer.
I think I need to send him money to improve his broadcasting. And,
Because he can talk some. Beep.
Right.
See, I beeped it out. So,
We need like a buzzer on the, in one hand, like hovering it every time one of us are. Boom! Yes, got it. Awesome. Let's move it on. All right.
All right. Since we're on to the unlucky subject, what about walking under ladders? You know, it's unlucky to walk. I think it is unlucky to walk under a ladder.
Well, no. Beep! All right, think about it. I mean, seriously, think about it. You got a ladder up. That means that somebody needed to get up high. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, why would they need to get up high? Probably they had to carry something up there, right?
Okay.
So, what kind of natural fool goes walking under a damn ladder? I mean, that's a common sense one. I don't care if you're a millennial, right? And you're sitting there playing a damn video game. That still should be a common sense. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Pop's got a hammer. And boom. Come on. Really? That's common sense. I don't even need to explain that. Explain it. I don't need to plane it.
Yeah, because you just dropped your dang plane off of the
Yeah!
ladder.
Cracked old Billy Bob in the head because he was hanging out underneath the damn thing. Oh, idiots. You know, I worked out in the plants for a while, and I swear, like, they treat us like we're that stupid. Well, I understand why. I mean, a lot of people are that stupid. Like,
there's a reason why they have rules of don't stick your fingers on the running lawnmower.
Put your hard hat on when you walk under the ladder. What? Why don't we just don't walk under the ladder?
Shouldn't you have your hard hat on in a construction site all the times anyway?
Yeah, probably. It slows me down.
All of that knowledge oozing out of the ears, it slows it down?
No, it's my head's too big.
Your head's too big. Ah.
I got one of them truck heads. I might as well have like a little bulldog sitting right on my nose. Like a Mack truck. Bulldog.
Okay.
Yeah, I lose you when I have to explain the comedy.
Well, whatever.
The joke is lost when I have to explain it.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't go so far over... Because if you're going... I was going to say, if you're going over my head, you think I'm...
Yeah, I have to get her a step stool to stand on.
Do I need
Little booster seat.
Yeah, put a booster seat in the queen's chair.
In the queen's chair. Alright, what we got next?
That's it?
Oh, that's not it.
Okay, well, what do you got then? Do we want to talk about that?
No, we'll talk about that some other time.
Okay, well, we've gone through all of everything that's on our list.
Well, yeah, I guess then we will call it for today. Right?
Oh, I was having so much fun!
Oh, I guarantee you we're not done filming for the day.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot more to do.
Yeah.
And that's the niche of this is that niche. So
I
once
guess
again,
it depends on what part of the country you come from. Now, what's in the wall? You know, you have a little hole in the wall and have a like a figurine or something up in that hole. What is that called?
a niche.
You call that a niche?
I would call it a niche.
It's a niche.
It's a niche.
It's a niche in the wall.
Okay.
See?
Oh, I got
More
one for you.
history.
Hey,
More history.
you know what? I'm just gonna ask you a question.
Oh my Lord and mercy! What could it be?
All right, so we're all familiar with the terminology, the Mason-Dixon line, correct?
Yes.
All right. So where is the Mason-Dixon line?
Mason-Dixon line?
Mason-Dixon line.
Okay, it really depends on, well...
It doesn't depend.
Mason-Dixon line refers to the Civil War, which would be the dividing line between the North and the South.
Wrong. Highly wrong.
Okay.
The Mason-Dixon line starts at Ellis Island in New York City, New York Harbor, and it goes all the way to Lake Erie. And it was the surveying, Mason and Dixon were the surveyors that did the surveying for northern expansion after we got the Louisiana Purchase. All right, so Mason and Dixon also did the surveying for the Erie Canal. And the Mason-Dixon line goes from Lake Erie to New York Harbor, right outside Ellis Island. You can still to this day go see all the markers down it. And so when somebody says, hey, I was born south of the Mason-Dixon line, no shit. 90% of this country is south of the Mason-Dixon line. So unless you lived in Massachusetts or Maine or Canada or upstate New York, sorry, you are south of the Mason-Dixon line. That's a little piece of trivial history for you guys.
Interesting.
Has nothing to do with the borderlines between North and South, the states. Has nothing to do with any of that. It's basically anybody south of the Erie Canal.
Okay. So why is the term Mason-Dixon line so important in history? Or
it is important in history. Mason and Dixon, they were like the surveyors of their time. I mean,
okay.
They're the ones that went out and surveyed the whole Mississippi Delta. They're the ones that surveyed, all that. So I mean, they were badasses. They were like Lewis and Clark, Mason and Dixon. Those two guys, those four guys there. Short of like Kit Carson or Snowshoe Thompson or any of them. These guys were like going into the wilderness, fighting off Indians and stuff.
Fighting them bears.
Fighting bears. So yes, next time someone says, "I'm south of the Mason-Dixon line,"
yeah, we all are. Okay.
Pretty much everybody except Massachusetts, Maine, that little bit chunk up in there.
But that's well.
They're still part of the country.
Anything Dallas and north of Dallas is Yankee land anyway.
It's I-10. Anything north of I-10.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
That's foreign country
that's
up
for
there.
You're taking your life in your own hands. You go past I-10.
Shoot, if you go past Beltway 8 on the south.
Well, nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we done with random facts for today?
Yeah, we are done with random facts or uncanny history. Uncanny world history, I guess. I was going to say American history, but no, this is more world history.
I think next time, though, I should have notes. Notes and not be put on the spot. But if y'all like it, I'll continue to have her put me on the spot. And,
He didn't know my questions.
So, anyways, thank you once again. From Possum Tales, my name is Bill.
I'm Red.
And we are very grateful for all y'all's support. We do love doing these for you guys. Come check us out on YouTube. And
yeah,
we'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe, you support us, and tell all your friends about us if you like us. Thank you. Adios.